You're listening to Greek Speak on WSYC 88.7 FM. My name is Luke Rainey, joined alongside me. For this episode will be Drew Williams, who is the Grand Scribe at Kappa Sigma. Again, you're listening from Shippensburg University in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania. The weather outside, it's 83 degrees and partly cloudy. That is also the high for today, and tonight's low will be 66 degrees here in Shippensburg University. So, just to give you an introduction of our guests, this is perhaps one of the most unique and perhaps the most special episode I think we've ever done on our show, because we have a major event that we're going to be talking about for tomorrow morning, the Fun Run for Health. But before we get into that, just to introduce Drew a little bit further than what I've already said. Drew, he is currently the Grand Scribe, but the Secretary of Kappa Sigma, having joined the organization the fall 2024 semester. He first became the Scholarship Chair of the fraternity to ensure high academic standards for the Brothers of Kappa Sigma. He was nominated to run for Grand Scribe and won that election in April of 2025. And as Grand Scribe, Drew handles many of the secretarial duties of the chapter, including communicating with Kappa Sigma headquarters, taking notes at chapter meetings and providing minutes to brothers, and overseeing internal and external communication. Beyond Kappa Sigma, Drew is an exercise science major, and all of this happens while he is continuously making the dean's list and having high academic standards for himself in every single semester of his college experience here at Shippensburg. Most recently, Drew has organized Fun Run for Health, which is precisely what we're going to spend much of today talking about. And just for preface, Andrew Mercier and Luke Hillegass are not joining us today, so it will be a one-on-one interview with Drew Williams. But nonetheless, Drew, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So just to get it started, I mean, I talked a little bit about last week with Luke and Andrew, but we have to certainly discuss this idea, because everybody at this point, I think, on this campus is familiar enough with the idea, but how did it get started?
So I actually got the inspiration from, I forget what chapter of Kappa Sigma it was, but they do something called a ride, which is like it's called a walk and ride. So it's a similar style race. However, they do it for, it's some sort of health clinic that provides health care, but it's not like the overall community free clinic that we're supporting. That clinic that they focus on is mental health. So the community free clinic doubles on both mental health and physical wellness.
Okay, so this is a different chapter's idea, you said, and then adopted it from there.
Yeah, this is a different chapter's idea, and then I took it and kind of meshed it with our own goals and our own personal values, and I kind of wanted to almost branch out with our community service. So in the past, we have been pretty lackluster in how many community service hours we've had, per brother and per chapter. We also haven't donated too much to the community service aspect of our chapter, even though headquarters is very, very adamant that we do push out community service and donations. So I wanted to branch out into something outside of our philanthropy. So we focus on military heroes, giving money back to the Military Heroes Fund and veterans. And I wanted to branch out into more of a local community event, and something that will bring the community together and an overall health benefit.
Have you worked on community service projects like this before, as far as organizing an event? I'm sure you've done lots of community service throughout all of your years.
Yeah, so in high school, I had over 300 community service hours every single year, freshman through senior year.
Wow.
And so I've always lived by community service. Giving back to the community is something I strive for, and especially after I got this position of leadership in our chapter, it's something that I wanted to emphasize a lot heavier.
Not politician speak, but not to say you campaigned on it, but it was one of the things you pitched as you were running for the position, getting that reinvigorated in our chapter.
Yeah, exactly. It was part of the campaign. It was part of pretty much everything that I valued. It was community service, getting everybody involved in community service, and pretty much reviving that community service that we once had as a chapter.
Where did 300 hours come from? Like, what did you do in high school to get that type of total each year?
So I was a part of National Honor Society, so a lot of the community service that we did came from that. We probably did 1 to 2 community service events a week. And outside of high school, I pretty much did, during the summer, I was a camp counselor, as well as in school, I was a camp counselor for something that we have called 6th grade camp. So all of the 6th graders in the middle school would go to a sleepaway camp for a couple days, and then they'd take a lot of the high schoolers away from their classes for a week. And over there is when we'd kind of give back to the community. We would raise money to fund different things that we do at the camp, and we would spend multiple nights at that camp trying to give the sixth graders a good experience that I personally went through as a sixth grader, which was really special. So I definitely wanted to be a part of that whenever I got to the age to be able to.
And most importantly, got a week out of class, right?
Oh my God! No, actually, we had to do homework still while we were at camp, but the teachers were more lenient.
Yeah, but of course, especially for a cause like that, something that's clearly entrenched within the community very well. I mean, that's something special for sure. But that would have pre-existed you. I'm sure that had been happening for you.
Oh yeah, that's been happening for a while.
But that's what makes it completely different from what we're doing here, because this is the first ever that we have done something like this as a chapter.
Yeah, I was looking back through it, through our Greater Cause community service. This is probably one of, if not the biggest community service event that our chapter at Shippensburg has ever done.
And a lot of this preparation, I mean, the chapter itself was informed on what was going on by mid-July, but obviously things had started before then.
Oh, my God, yeah.
With the first person who had to obviously say yes, or the first people would have been the executive committee. So you pitched it to them at some point, I'm sure, and then what was the response? Obviously an overwhelming yes, but how did they think of it?
They were a little bit skeptic because it seemed like an overhaul of information at the time, and it seemed like something that was going to take a lot of effort. And don't get me wrong, it took probably, I would say, 4 or 5 months of planning. So this has been going on since April. I informed the executive committee about around May, early June, that time. So I'd been planning it for a solid month before I actually pitched the idea to my executive committee. But following that, it was really almost like just an inspiration and trying to see how I can get the chapter involved and how we can kind of branch out beyond something that is, I don't know what I'm trying to say here, trying to branch out into something that is greater than us.
Right, like this is we're working with a nonprofit here. Like this isn't just us doing something. It's not just us setting up a table at the Cub and doing water balloons to raise money for military heroes. This is our event with a local partner that we identified, which is a segue into my next question. How did the Community Free Clinic get involved in this? How did you talk to them? How did you even think of talking to them?
So, they're actually a Community Free Clinic. They're like very close to my hometown, which is in Fairfield, Pennsylvania. Probably nobody's ever heard of that, but it's about 20 minutes from my house. And I visit Hagerstown all the time, so that's exactly where I got that idea from. It was the first group that I thought of for this community service event. I was like, yep, we're partnering with them. And so following that, I went through a whole month of planning, I just really, really am so appreciative of Brianna Fields and I forget her last name, but her name is Jo. They're both two of the people that I spoke to at the Community Free Clinic. They were beyond helpful. They offered so many different things for us. They provided so many ideas. They gave me contacts for food trucks. They gave me contacts for people to reach out to for donations. They gave me contacts for businesses to reach out for race prizes. So they are a little bit more behind the scenes than what the public eye kind of sees. But this seriously could not have been done without them at all.
My gosh.
I am so appreciative of them.
And that's the benefit of you have people who do that professionally. I mean, I know that this is not the only time that Community Free Clinic is in the community doing these types of grassroots events. So that's really the benefit of, again, having people who know what they're talking about, who do this, who do this constantly. So that's really amazing. And to hear, you're talking in months. You're talking like the process of this is just it's almost painstaking to hear it, because I think anybody who's ever planned anything, they can understand what that can look and feel like, especially as you start navigating these hurdles. But again, to have that sort of support, what did that feel like from your end? You kind of touched on it earlier. What did it feel like from your end once you reach out to them and they're stepping their foot on the gas just as hard as you are, if not even harder?
It was amazing to see that they were just about as passionate as this project as I was. It seemed like they were in tune with exactly what I was thinking for this event and beyond that event. They were in constant contact with me and with any groups that they were a part of in trying to get this event to be a success. And so far, I've had so many sleepless nights about this event. It has caused so much stress, but it is all going to pay off in the end. I am so excited. I'm beyond excited for this event.
And we have so much more to discuss about what's going to happen tomorrow at Fun Run for Health. And that, again, it starts at 9 a.m., doors open at 7:30. Sorry?
No. So registration opens at 9 a.m.
Right. Okay.
And then following, the 1 mile race will proceed at 9:30 a.m. So registration opens at 9. The races begin at 9:30.
Awesome. Okay, so
I'm getting there at 6 a.m. So that's probably where you got that time from.
Of course, there's way more that's going to go on before then to try and make sure this event happens on the day of for setup. So that's the times that we're getting mixed up here. But thanks for the clarification. So, yep, show up at 9 tomorrow. So we're less than 16 hours away at this point. The countdown has really been on today. But we'll be back in just a moment. Again, you're listening to Greek Speak on WSYC 88.7 FM. Again, we'll be back in a moment. And we're back on Greek Speak here. Again, it's Luke, Rainey, and Drew Williams. It's a solo episode for me from the hosting perspective. Andrew Mercier and Luke Hillegass are not here, but nonetheless, there is still so much to unpack. So again, it is Fun Run for Health. That is the topic of today's show. It all starts at 9 a.m. tomorrow. And of course, a lot of work from Kappa Sigma's chapter happening before then to make sure the event is set up and run efficiently. But speaking of setting up and speaking of ensuring everything goes smoothly, I know you have had a lot of hurdles regarding contacting people, ensuring everything is proofed and correct and legal, and getting through all of the quote-unquote red tape. Talk about the process of realizing what the red tape even is, because you can't just go into it and just have the event. I'm sure you were well aware that there was going to be contacting a lot of local government officials, people at the university. Where did you even start?
So that's a great point. There were, to say the least, millions of roadblocks. There was plenty of problems that I ran into regarding contact, regarding things that I needed to get done, special use applications. But other than that, I would say it actually went smoothly. Other than those few roadblocks of me, constant contact, constant emails, constant phone calls, I had talked to SUPD, the Shippensburg University Police Department. They were extremely helpful. They were amazing. I also had to talk to the Cumberland Valley Rail Trail. They were very helpful as well. They were in constant contact with me about the event, making sure everything was ready to go, making sure everything was clear for the event, and making sure everything is going to go according to plan. But yeah, talking about those roadblocks, really, it was just a matter of communication, and getting other people on board with this initiative was probably the main problem, but I never had a negative experience with that.
Right, and that's really good to hear, and it's especially, I think, it was probably helpful that they recognized that at the end of the day, it was a noble cause, and one that, we're not doing this for ourselves. There's no money that Kappa Sigma is making. In fact, it's a loss at the end of the day for us, but it's one that obviously we're more than willing to do to support the local community, and we're willing to go through the trouble to do it. So I think that was probably something that I would hope that they would have considered as a sort of okay, the motivations here are very much in the right place. But yeah, like you mentioned, contacting SUPD, going through the local government to ensure the trail can be, reserved, so to speak, in the area tomorrow. It's just a fantastic thing that, it's all come together at the right time, and that this event it's a go. Because I saw it in mid-July, and whenever you announced it to the entire chapter, and I immediately had many thoughts in my mind of like, well, how is this getting done? How's that getting done? I remember texting you some of those questions, and you had an answer for everything. And the preparation to do that, that doesn't come easy. So I guess, how did you keep yourself organized?
Using the Notes app pretty heavily. Relied on Excel and Google Sheets a lot, Google Docs, all that stuff. I organized so many different things on my Notes app. I think I created probably 100 different pages for that. So that's definitely used my electronic resources for that. And it kind of stemmed from almost being afraid to fail. Yeah. That I was so afraid to fail that I relied on organization to bring me back. And that's probably the number one thing that I've learned from this event, is that being afraid to fail is okay, and failure is okay, but at least you tried. I'm happy to say at the end of the day that I tried for this event, and so far it's looking like it's going to be a great success.
Yeah, I mean, if you forget about the fact you tried. It is successful. This is happening tomorrow. I mean, at the end of the day, everything that you wanted in this event is happening, and it's not just the 5K. So, obviously, if you're not someone who's out there running, I'm not going to be a runner, for example. There's other things there for everybody else. You mentioned the food trucks earlier, so there's food.
Yep,
and what do I know about a live band that's coming? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, so there's going to be Uncle Eddie's Barbecue. Yeah. There's going to be a Smash Burger truck, and there's going to be Kona Ice. So they were all extremely wonderful to work with. I've actually had Uncle Eddie's Barbecue, their food truck, at Cornfest previously and other different events that happen on the rail trail. The food is amazing, so I'm really excited to have them there. I was just in contact with them today. They're probably some of the nicest people that I've ever met. Kona Ice was amazing to work with, too. But even bouncing off that topic of the live music, I would like to give a shout-out to Noble Black Band. They agreed to play for 1 hour for free. And kind of an insider scoop, that is my mother's band.
Yeah.
They perform all the time in Baltimore. They're a cover of 70s and 80s classic rock. They perform all over Pennsylvania, Virginia, Maryland, West Virginia, and I'm pretty sure they've gone to Delaware once. But they're an amazing band. I might be a little biased here, just because it is my own mother, but I personally think their music is amazing, and they do a great job every single time that they perform, and we are so excited to have them.
What has her support through all this meant to you?
It's been amazing. Sure. Yeah. She's been supporting me from every step of the way. She's been like, go do this. She's like, you want to be involved in the community. You want to give back. She's like, I'll help you with whatever you need. And it's just been really, really just been pushing me to do better. And I'm so grateful for that.
No, yeah, I mean, you can't replace that type of support.
No,
not at all.
No, my mother is an amazing woman. She had cancer for 13 years, so she's definitely a strong person. Yeah. I don't know where I'd be without her.
Yeah, there's a lot of inspiration to take from that. And I'm excited. I'm excited to meet her tomorrow. I'm sure we all are. And of course, the fact that she's able to do this and get the band on board for free, I mean, that's an awesome thing. And I think that the turnout will hopefully reflect the efforts that you've put into this. But I would say the next segue, and this is where I've got a lot to say on this too, is it's not just about making sure the event happens, it's about making sure the event happens well. And that involves a lot of promotion. So this has been everything from the grassroots door-knocking style type of promotion to the, professional, super, put together, media campaign. Let's talk about that, because what were some of the ideas you had bouncing around for advertising at the start? And obviously I have my own, but what did you have at first?
So at first I had absolutely no clue what to do. Marketing is not my field. Again, exercise science, that's my major. So I was kind of struggling with that in the beginning. And again, I can't thank Brianna enough. The Community Food Clinic supplied me with so many different ideas about how to market this event that I don't think it would be happening. We wouldn't have these participants without their help. So at first, it started with the Facebook groups. So I joined every Facebook group within 100 miles. I've been posting in there for the past every couple days for the past 2 months. We also went door to door to local businesses and companies, handing them our flyers with the QR code. We've also made a plethora of social media flyers.
Yeah.
And they've actually done very successfully. I'm honestly shocked at how much fundraising we were able to complete with just one single social media flyer. And we kind of exhausted all the social media, pretty much every marketing campaign that you could ever think of, we tried.
Yeah.
Some of them worked, some of them didn't. I reached out to Shippensburg's marketing department. We luckily got a feature on their Facebook.
LinkedIn too.
And they're LinkedIn? I didn't know about that.
Yeah, they're on LinkedIn. I shared that on Tuesday.
So we got on their LinkedIn, and they also featured us on their Instagram story. President Patterson and the president's office pushed the event and the flyer out to all the faculty and departments of our campus, as well as I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, President Patterson is making an appearance at the event tomorrow morning. If I'm understanding the email correctly and what they told me, I hope he hasn't forgot.
even someone from that administrative team from the university, regardless if it is President Patterson or not, that is an awesome thing, and that's this is a fantastic victory. And I mean, this is the stuff that you're going to be able to talk about, and frankly, I'll be able to talk about as well in job interviews one day. I mean, we talk about on the show kind of from the abstract what the professional benefits are of joining a fraternity. Well, this is it. I mean, this is absolutely it right here. I've never seen anything like this from our chapters, so it's bravo all around. But one of the things that I'm proud to have contributed with is the media outreach. So the process that we went down was we drafted press releases and email pitches, and I was able to, thanks to a software that I have, we were able to secure how many media hits? I think it was at least two. What was the second one? Because we have the one in Hagerstown Herald.
There was one in Hagerstown, and then the other one was in Gettysburg.
I did not know about Gettysburg.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
It wasn't a full-on media release.
Right.
It was what is it called? It's not like they didn't write an article about it. But they posted a small feature. How Shippensburg did on their Facebook, it was a small feature on Gettysburg.
Right.
So that's what it was. It was just like, hey, this event's happening in Shippensburg. This is what's going on. It's for a great cause. Please come out to the event.
Shippensburg Chamber of Commerce also has it on their page. I think they've had that for a while as well.
Yep, they've had that for a couple weeks. They've reached out to some businesses, is what they told me. So hopefully we'll get some more people out there.
Well, and the way that I wanted to make sure that it was framed was I didn't want to lose the message at all of the fact okay, here's who we're supporting. We're supporting a group that works with about 9,000 that helps 9,000 or so uninsured Washington County, Maryland residents. That matters a lot. But I also wanted to make sure that it was emphasized the group that is doing this is probably not the group that the average citizen is going to expect is going to be on the front lines helping this out. And I talk about this all the time on the show. I talk about the stereotype of Greek life. I talk about whatever I can do to try and negate that stereotype and show elements like this that make a heck of a difference in the community. And this is one of them. And to see that work get published and promoted has been outstanding. Of course, social media, having some creativity with that. We've had 2 videos. We've had multiple graphics go up, things like that. We're doing this right now, for example. Just the media campaign of this has certainly been an inspiring thing. I'm happy that I've had the chance to take part of it, and I thank you, of course, for giving me the freedom to do it. Because ultimately you oversee the public relations chairs at the end of the day in this chapter, so that matters a lot. So, of course, the external awareness of this event, I think, is as high as we probably could have ever gotten. And, whether or not we have coverage on site tomorrow, I think we'll find out tomorrow if that would happen or not. But at minimum, I'm going to make sure that everybody on Earth is going to find out if you look at our Instagram page at ShipU Kappa Sigma exactly how tomorrow goes. I think it'll be a fantastic day. But we're going to take a quick little transition here. We'll go in the second half of the show. We'll talk a little bit about what more is to happen tomorrow, as well as a broader perspective of what this event's going to look like. Again, you're listening to Greek Speak on WSYC 88.7 FM from Shippensburg University in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania. And again, it's Luke Rainey today doing it solo, but joined with Drew Williams, special guest on a special episode to talk more about Fun Run for Health. And one of the things we've been talking about is, okay, here's who we're partnering with. Here's how we're going to help them out. And one of the ways we're going to help them out is financially, and that is through the fundraising effort. So, obviously, the idea is that we give them more resources, we give them more funds to support their initiative to help out uninsured individuals in Washington County, Maryland. But I think before we even talk about, go into this, it's important to emphasize that, and correct me if I'm wrong, Drew, that the Community Free Clinic, they do not receive state or federal funding. So there's no public funding component involved to what they're doing, which ultimately means that the way they're going to raise funds is through grassroots initiatives and through sponsorships and things of that nature. So how are we contributing to that? How is that going at the moment?
So it's going really good. Again, I wanted to bounce off the social media flyers and the donation links, they worked really well. Actually better than we expected, honest to God. And our fundraising goal for the event is about $2,000. That's what we wanted to give to the Community Free Clinic. So far, we have about 35 registrants for pre-register, and we have about 30 people who RSVP'd to come to the event and pay the same day registration fee.
Oh my goodness.
So we're looking to get around, out of just registration, the goal is to get around $800. And then the rest of the $2,000 goal is coming from our alumni, our family and friends, and anybody who makes a donation at the event tomorrow. So the end goal is to end up with $2,000, and I'm very hopeful that we can reach that.
And yeah, we talked about the promotional activities that we've done. It's not just to get people there. It's ultimately the end goal is the fundraising, to make sure that people would donate to a cause like that. So it's been a phenomenal initiative, of course, and that's something that, again, getting the buy-in for the event matters so much. And, of course, having the extensive network we do, that's the advantage of having 51 brothers. That's the advantage of having people who come from very different walks of life. That's the advantage of having a super supportive alumni network that goes back to when a chapter was established in 1969. So you're talking 56 years worth of brothers and all the connections they have had. The way that this has been, again, the way it's been developed from top to bottom here has just been an incredible thing. And, going beyond this, though, so going beyond the fundraising initiatives and going beyond what it's been like to prepare for this and to promote the event, I think people should know what tomorrow is going to look like whenever they get on site. So first question, I think, is, well, it's Kappa Sigma who's helping organize this. Where will the Kappa Sigmas be tomorrow?
So we'll be everywhere across the rail trail. We'll have people at water stations along the trail. We'll have people with first aid kits on staff. We'll have people managing parking, managing traffic control when people are crossing the street. We'll have brothers at the registration tables, at the donation booth. We'll have people tracking time on stopwatches. We also have a time clock on display, both forwards and backwards. So that's going to be really nice. We'll have people at the starting line table. We will also have people, just brothers, running in the race. So you'll see plenty of people wearing letters tomorrow. And it's just going to be great to see everybody come together out of the Brotherhood and the entire community in general. And just seeing those two groups mix, when you honestly would not see that in a general population, people normally don't expect a fraternity to be supporting such a community service event like this, that I think it's going to be eye-opening for the community, for us as a chapter, and for people in general that really have no clue what goes on behind the scenes of a fraternity.
What's at stake for those who participate tomorrow? Because I hear that there's some prizes on the line.
Prizes.
So there's different races that are happening. You got the 1 mile, the 2 mile, the 5K. It's a runner walk. So someone's gonna win.
Yep, someone's gonna. So there's a first, second, and third place prize for all three races. And first, before I go into what we have for the prizes, I just want to thank all of our donors. University Grill. They were extremely amazing. Jeff was very quick to contact. He was so excited to help us out. So University Grill, we're receiving 10% of the donations from all food trucks, or 10% of profits from all the food trucks that are attending. So we also want to thank them. Adidas, Adidas was a big partner with us. We also have Sheets. They helped us out a little bit. We also have Fort Ritchie Community Center. They were the people that supplied the time clock and one of the race prizes. We also have Pizza Man. They were extremely beneficial to us as well. They were extremely nice to work with. So I'm just going to go over the prizes right now. So for the 5K race, the first place prize is an $100 University Grill gift card. Second place is a $100 Fort Ritchie Community Center credit. So you can use that for a 3-month membership, or for any day passes, or for class passes. So they do tons of different classes, such as Pilates, yoga, different classes for older people, younger generations. They have everything that you want for fitness classes. Paired with that is a T-shirt from Fort Ritchie Community Center. The third place prize is a $25 Pizza Man gift certificate. For the 2 mile, the first place winner gets a $50 University Grill gift card. Second place is a case of Celsius. Third place is a $15 Sheets gift card. And for the 1 mile race, first place is a $25 Adidas gift card. Second is a candle, perfume, and soap scent basket donated by one of our sweethearts, Kenzie Staub. she had received the scent basket from one of the people that she what is it for the military. It was one of her drill sergeants. She makes those scent baskets, so she offered to donate one to our cause. And third place prize is a $10 Sheetz gift card for the 1 mile. So I feel like we've got a good handful of prizes, some big ones and some small ones, but I feel like it's always good to get a prize.
It's so complete. I mean, that's what's amazing to me. I mean, everything you've thought of for this event, but the list of organizations you have, I mean, it feels like there's been very few in the community. All the businesses we can think of in the Shippensburg community, there aren't too many more I can think of that don't have some role in this. So just the partnerships, the contributions on their end. I mean, I can't believe it listening to that, because I'll be honest with you, I didn't know that was the extent of it. I didn't know like there was gifts like coming from Kenzie Staub. There were things coming from Adidas, corporations, for crying out loud. It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. And I guess all of this to be said, though, so we put this all in a package now, and we have 20 more minutes to go in the show, and I think we can certainly find 20 more minutes of content on this discussion, because it's been phenomenal. But through everything that you've done, what has been the number one challenge?
That's a tough question. I would say the number one challenge is actually getting attendance for the event. So we really pushed it for these past couple weeks. So about a month ago, there was only 6 participants signed up, and they were only friends and family. And then as of today, there are the 35 that I mentioned. So definitely that big jump was something that I did not expect. I thought most people were going to show up same day and just pay the registration fee, and then that was going to be it. I did not expect that big jump of 6 to 35 people, and I'm assuming there's going to be more throughout tonight. And I'll get that updated email from the community clinic. So definitely the biggest struggle was getting people to actually sign up and say they're going to attend the event.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, then that's the type of thing that you worry about the whole time, because you're watching those numbers. Oh, somebody please register, somebody please register. And you get the jump. You get that surge in the late moments, and perhaps that's just how human nature is. I mean, it's one of those, you don't know if you're available at September 6th at 9 a.m. until September 2nd, for example. So maybe that's just something that, perhaps that's always how it's going to be for events like that. But of course, I mean, as you said, it's, even if you don't register, the opportunity is always there to simply just show up and arrive. I mean, and one of the, hopefully we don't run out of supplies, but if we, like for bibs and for running things like that, if we do, it's certainly a good problem to have. But there's to know the community turnout, and this is significant as well. That's an important part. But the two things tomorrow that I guess, the questions I have, it's a good and a bad. What are you most excited about, and what are you most nervous about for tomorrow?
Well, I'll go over the nervous thing first, because it's right on my mind.
You've been nervous about everything, it seems like, but it's all been working so far, so hopefully this will continue.
I'm really nervous about the weather.
All right.
It says tomorrow that it's not going to rain until about 2 p.m., which is way after the event's going to be over, so I'm praying that it stays like that. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I would have done, what I'm going to do if it rains tomorrow. It's rain or shine. The band is not going to play if it rains, but the run is rain or shine. So I'm praying that it stays pretty clear skies until about 2 p.m. We'll be out of there, so it won't matter. But that's 100% what I'm nervous about. The thing that I'm most excited for is definitely being able to just see the impact that we are able to have on the community after just a certain amount of planning and after a certain amount of dedication. I am so excited to see all of those people running. Now, theoretically, the only people that could show up, it could be the 34 that are, or the 35 that are signed up right now. And I would be happy just to see that they were able to come out to this event and support the community.
Right. I mean, 35 is, in my opinion,
that's a solid number.
Yeah, there's enough people where it's an actual competition. I mean.
Yeah, and like I'm genuinely so excited to see all of those groups of people coming from all over Pennsylvania, Maryland, wherever they're from, just gathering together to compete in this one like universal initiative of giving back to the community.
Well, the campus community, I would hope, would also be the biggest supporters of this, because you can think of it as a pregame to the football game that's happening here on campus tomorrow as well. So I have high expectations, I'll say, for all the thousands of students at Shippensburg University. I hope some proportion of that will show up tomorrow as well. So, I mean, talk about the student outreach of this. Like, how have you felt that other members of Greek life have been excited for this? Your friends, everybody you would have talked to, how are they digesting this event?
All the people that I've talked to or said that they're interested in it have been really excited about helping out, and they're really excited about attending. I mean, it's not every day that you see something on this scale coming from a student group or student organization on this campus especially. And it kind of stems from, well, the whole reason that I planned the fun run on the 6th, I know it's a little early in the semester. I know people are busy with the first couple weeks of classes, but I did this because I knew it was the first weekend that they would have a football game on Saturday. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be a lot of foot traffic in Shippensburg tomorrow morning. So I'm hoping that draws a little extra crowd of people saying, wow, I don't have anything going on before the football game. Let's go check out that fun run. And even if they don't participate in the run, there's still going to be food trucks, live music. That's going to be a good time. People are going to be there,
and another extra opportunity for people to donate too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So there's some good thinking behind that. So great strategizing, and also for the weather's sake. I mean, yeah, we're worried about that passing shower tomorrow, but at least it's not 43 degrees and pouring rain all day long, so we don't have that type of problem. So having this early on is important, but also more than anything, this project. I mean, all the things you would have done. I don't think this would have been possible during a semester to plan all of this.
Oh my gosh, no. I'm glad I planned it out over the summer. Like, there's so many different aspects that we're going to have tomorrow, from people volunteering to, like, we have a raffle going on. So there's going to be raffle tickets. It's going to be 50-50 raffle. I'm pretty sure we set it's either $1 or $2 a ticket. I'm really not sure which one I decided on, but I got to go back and look at my notes. I have a couple hours before that. The people, whenever they pick up their racing bib, or if they're paying the registration same day, they're going to buy their racing bib. We're going to ask them if they want to buy a raffle ticket. And so if it's $2 for the raffle ticket, they're going to pay the $2, and every other person that pays for the $2 as well. Say we end up with a total of $200 that was spent on the raffle tickets. We're going to divide that in half, so the winner will get $100 cash, and then we will donate to the community clinic the other half of the proceeds. And so that's what I really wanted to emphasize too. Like, we are, again, like Luke talked about earlier, we are taking on this initiative, not just, like, we are not taking any profit for this at all.
Right.
We are spending money on this event to make sure it's successful, and we want to give back to the community as much as possible. And so 100% of these proceeds is going to the event. And not only are the proceeds going to be giving back to the community, but we are also going to be giving back to the community through on-site free health screenings given by the Community Free Clinic. So that's why it's called the Fun Run for Health. So cardiovascular health and encouraging fitness participation is really something that's very important in overall health of the human body. And we also wanted to set up an on-site health clinic. So it's going to be Brianna and one of the people from the clinic, and they're going to have it's going to be a table right next to the donation booth, and they're gonna I think they're gonna be able to provide. Here, I'm pulling it up now. So they'll have a nurse there on race day. She'll be providing free blood pressure and A1C screenings.
A1C, that's jargon that I'm not familiar with. This is your exercise science major. Help me out here.
So they're just gonna be giving those. They're going to be testing the people, they're going to be testing participants. Anybody who wants it, it's free, 100% free. So if you're there, you're looking to, get a blood pressure test, A1C test, then they're going to be on staff ready to go, ready to help you out.
And that's, the key is their services are free for uninsured people. And that's, again, just re-emphasizing the point of why donations, sponsorship. Why community support matters so much. But they're a very reputable organization in the community as well. So that's why they're able to do these things, because the community of Washington County, Maryland embraces what they do. And I'll tell you that the 50-50, if my dad heard that one, he'd be inspired. He loves to partake in 50-50s. I was once at an event about a couple years ago, and he was watching. It was on national television some Thursday night, and they had a 50-50 going, and it got up to $100,000.
Oh my god!
He texted me and he said, he's like, I'll pay for your ticket. You're gonna buy one though. You gotta buy one. And obviously I didn't win one, but that's just hearing that though, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so everybody's got a chance to win some cash tomorrow as well. You enter that 50-50. So a little bit more to talk about here. So we're almost at the home stretch here on Greek Speak. You're listening again to Greek Speak on WSYC 88.7 FM with Luke Rainey, joined today by special guest Drew Williams. And we're back on Greek Speak again. Final few minutes of this show with Drew Williams talking all about Front Runner for Health. But I say all that, and it's I'm pretending almost as if nothing else is happening with Kappa Sigma. Not to mention we are approaching the most important week of all of Kappa Sigma. So it's almost at this event, it's the climax of sorts, but of what your work has been this entire summer and what the past 5 months have been all about for you and for many people who have helped make this event successful underneath you as well, and the support that you've had from within the chapter, as well as everybody else's support from the community. But we're looking at a hot dog fundraiser tonight, so that typically runs late tonight. We're waking up before the sunrise tomorrow to get things going tomorrow, and then Monday it is Rush Week. So just kind of transitioning into Rush Week, and I always kind of ask this question this time of year. I mean, what do you look for the people who are interested in rushing, for people who are interested in becoming a new member? What qualities do you look for?
Qualities that we look for. Well, in a position of leadership, I feel like I'm kind of obligated to say this, but definitely qualities of leadership. In a chapter of such a large size that we have, definitely qualities of leadership when we're looking for new members stands out, because we're looking to replace our leadership as soon as we get elected. We are looking for people not only who will be on the executive committee of the chapter in the future, but we're also looking for people who are behind the scenes on chairs under those executive committee members who are also active leaders in the chapter. So I think qualities of leadership, being able to work together as a team and a group, and honestly, friendship. Those are probably the three things that I would say are the three things that I look for. I know everybody kind of has a different saying, different things that they look for. But honestly, if you're a good leader, or if you have these great friendship qualities about you, I want to get to know more about who you are, what you like to do, and I want to become friends with that person. I know that, Rainey, you're a great person. You're a great leader. You do everything that you do to 110%. And I absolutely love that about you. The first time I met you, I was like, wow, this guy knows exactly what he wants to do with his life. He's on board with everything that he's committed to. All of his obligations are 100% down. And he's ready to go with whatever is thrown at him. And, those qualities stand out to me. So if somebody has some of those qualities, I'm like, we need those. We need those people in our chapter.
Yeah, and those qualities can absolutely, especially the leadership aspect. I mean, those can certainly be developed too. I mean, I think our chapter president Luke. I mean, he would admit it. He's admitted before on the show that whenever he joined our fraternity, he would say it himself. He was no born to be a leader, but there's something about this place that just inspires it within you, and a lot of times it can surprise you. So. Yeah, I mean, I would echo a lot of that as far as what I'm looking for out of this new member class, and however many, big or small, and whoever is in it, it is the leadership qualities. It's people who just have a general, I would say, concern and regard for their academic performance and their long-term goals. I'm a goal-oriented person. Those goals don't have to be in black and white. I never say that, but I need people who at least who care about what happens in their lives other than what happens today and tomorrow, but years to come. So those are the types of things I'm looking for, and ultimately, obviously, fundamental aspects of human decency. I mean, that's common nature. Obviously, look for that in any circumstance for anybody who's trying to join your organization. But I would tie all of this together, though, and say that, obviously you've become a newly initiated brother, and you go right to becoming a scribe after one semester serving a scholarship chair. And as soon as you get into the position, you're tasked with probably one of the most challenging yet rewarding experiences of your life, and it's all going to happen tomorrow. What have you learned about yourself through all this?
Through serving as the scribe, or through the
just through your development as a brother. I mean, you were very developed as a new member. Not to mention, just from the get go, it was clear as day for you. But what have you learned as you've grown in the chapter, and then once you take on this role? So I guess to answer that question, I guess it's both.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I definitely learned a lot about myself. Leadership wise, never in a million years did I think I would ever join a fraternity, let alone be on the executive committee of one. I think that really stands out at who we are as a chapter and who we are as individual members. Like, we are looking to facilitate the development of people, and not only people that come through our chapter, not only people that are interested in joining our chapter, but anybody who is around us. We want to leave a good impression. We want to leave them with new knowledge and lead them to being a better person than the person they were before they met us. So I feel like striving for that goal as myself is almost one of the reasons that I'm even here to this day. I never, never in a million years did I think I'd be in this position, but here I am, because that is one of the main factors of joining our brotherhood. We are looking to develop you as a person and all of your qualities.
And it's also about a legacy that's 56 years in the making. And I think an event like this, if tomorrow goes well, there's no reason it cannot become an annual thing of our chapter. Mm-hmm. And that's the challenge from your end is going to be, if you're not in the position of scribe and you're something greater next year, helping out the new scribe and getting this put together. But I mean, I would just say as a personal note, I mean, I think a lot of people are aware that when the nominations were up last year, I was one of the people who got a nomination, and at first I'd accepted it and had to ponder it a bit and realize that for the sake of myself and my own wellness, and for the chapter's wellness, and for everything else that I do, and for my own goals in this senior year of my college education, that it probably wasn't best for me to do it. But I can say it's in good hands. I'm so happy. Like, that probably my greatest fear was, if I don't do it, I just hope the person who does it is doing a good job at it. And man, I mean, this past 55 minutes, if it hasn't reaffirmed anything, I don't know what will. So you've outshined yourself, and I think this chapter is so lucky that, again, you said never in a million years did you think you'd be there, and once we found you, it's something we didn't want to let go. So you've been phenomenal. But any closing remarks on your end about tomorrow, and what Fun Run for Health is going to be? How you feeling now?
I'm feeling pretty good about it. I'm really looking forward to the event. I'm so excited. And like you said earlier, I'm really looking to make this an annual event. That's why I set this up now, because I knew I'd be in the position to develop our community service. And it's all the stepping stones are there for the person who precedes me. I want this to become an annual event. I want us to keep reaching out into community service, keep reaching out into the community in general, and developing our presence in the community outside of being a social fraternity is what I think that we need to shift our focus into being more about. And other than that, I'm thinking Fun Run's going to be great. I'm really hoping to see a lot of people there. If you're free in Shippensburg, you're around town, stop by, get some food at the food trucks. If you're willing to run the race, there's going to be some good prizes.
Yep. And again, 9 a.m. tomorrow, September 6th, right along the rail trail, 51 4th Street, I believe, is the location. That is headquarters for tomorrow morning and early afternoon. We're praying for good weather.
Parking across the street at the Pizza Man parking lot and at the engineering building. So
I mean, it's going to be a good one, and certainly bright days for our chapter, and hopefully the weather is just as bright tomorrow. But again, it has been a phenomenal thing to watch you put this event together. And again, folks, it's all about the Community Free Clinic tomorrow from 9 to 2. Again, at the rail trail for Shippensburg University. That's all we have for Greek Speak today, and thank you for a great conversation, Drew, and thank you to everyone who has listened. And until next week, where certainly I'm going to be rehashing a lot of what happens on Saturday, as well as everything with Rush Week, we'll be seeing all of you later. Take care.